Okay. Ready? Okay. Hi, guys. I'm Sarah. I'm Christina's sister. It's very nice to meet all of Josh's family. And I hope to get to know you guys better when we can get a little bit more closer together and not socially distanced. So when I was growing up, I felt like my life path was very clear for me because I just wanted to do whatever my sister did. Her favorite color when she was little was purple, so that was my favorite color. She played tennis, so I played tennis. I read whatever books she was reading and took the same classes that she took when I got to high school. But the one thing in life that I felt like I had to sort of navigate on my own first was boys. I remember my sister and I were living together in Loma Linda when I first started dating James. He's now my husband. And he was my first real serious relationship, and we would see each other almost every day after work. And I remember my sister asking, like, what do you guys even talk about when you're together? How do people talk or hang out that much, just the two of them? And she just wasn't sure. She could picture herself doing that with someone. And fast forward about 5 years later, and after one fateful ski trip, and my sister called me. She was giggling like a little schoolgirl, telling me how this boy has been texting her every day, all day. She can't focus at work because she keeps texting him. And I know that amongst the Kim family, there is a lot of debate on who takes credit for setting my sister and Josh up. But regardless, I'm very thankful to Ruth, Maria, DP, whoever, everybody, who had the amazing insight into what an amazing couple that they would become. And also, obviously, good job, Josh, for taking the initiative and making things happen. I have to admit, I was really pleasantly surprised the first time I saw the two of you together as a couple. You guys seemed so natural and really comfortable and happy together. The moment I really knew my sister had fallen head over heels for him was when I heard that he got her to go hiking and camping and turned her into a cat person. I definitely knew at that point you were someone very special to her. But in all seriousness, you guys are truly a match made in heaven. Josh, I don't need to give you the stern sister warning of if you hurt her, I'll come after you, because I see how much you love and take care of her already. I couldn't imagine a better partner in life for her. And I love that your family has also said that she seems to bring out the best in you as well. I hope that you guys continue to support each other and help each other grow. And I'm looking forward to having lots of double dates and play dates together with our kids in the future. To Josh and Christina.
All right, thank you, Sarah. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Again, my name is Caleb. I am Joshua's beloved and only brother, his favorite brother. So, some of you may be acquainted with my most favorite musical. It received 16 nominations and also won 11 awards. Hamilton was voted as the best musical in the 2016 Tony Awards and also won the Pulitzer Prize for Drama that same year. So halfway through the first act, Alexander Hamilton, after earning much fame and valor from his service in the early Revolutionary War, he showed up at a party that was hosted by the Schuyler family. That night, Hamilton met Eliza Schuyler, and the rest was history. They fell in love and eventually married, and it was that joyous occasion which brought friends and family together to celebrate their union. But it was one song in particular in this musical, sung by Hamilton's closest friends, that really resonated with me personally. One line in particular caught my attention. Raise a glass to freedom, something you will never see again. Josh, I've never been married, and all I can go off in terms of marriage comes from movies, memes, and our wonderful Nuna's relationships. But just from mere observation alone, I have come to this one conclusion, that Hamilton's friends were absolutely right. Say goodbye to freedom, because truly you will never see it again. So when Josh first announced that he was getting married, it came as a bit of a shocker to me. You see, just 10 years earlier, Josh swore that he wasn't going to get married. And, you know, that could have been in part due to Oma's incessant trying to set him up with every girl that she could possibly find. But regardless of what it was, it definitely left an impression on middle school Caleb. As the only other son, I felt that since Josh was going to shirk on his duties, that the responsibility and burden of marriage would now be falling on my shoulders. So yes, Josh's proposal came as a shocker, but I am eternally grateful. I can now breathe. The pressure is no longer on me to carry on the Kim legacy. So all jokes aside, Josh, I believe that we can both say that we are extremely blessed to have such amazing Nunas. Right? Right? After all, if it wasn't for them, you would still be stuck in your tech closet somewhere in a sketchy part of town, doomed to become the male equivalent of an old grumpy cat lady. So yes, we should thank the Nunas. They've really been carrying us as our team players here. Now, Christina, I know you and Josh are pretty close now, but I've known him for over 23 years, and whatever enamoring qualities you may see in him today, I know them to measures beyond your current understanding. So now it's going to take a couple years for you to crack Josh, because he's a tough nut to crack. But I promise that all that you will find will only reinforce the virtues you see in him now. So let me just give you just a quick preview right now. And I was actually talking with Oma on the way here, and she swears that this is a dream or something. It didn't happen, but I have it written down here, so I got to go with it. So as a kid, I was a troublemaker. You could basically call me the spawn of Satan. I always found ways to anger Oma and Appa, and I received just punishment, as you can probably remember. But one night, I crossed the line, and I experienced the christening event that all troublesome children, Kim children, must undergo to become a true Kim child, and that is being kicked out of the house. Now, I can't exactly remember what I did, but I do remember that we had friends over for supper, and I had done something to really set Appa off. So, as punishment, I had to get down on my knees and raise my hands, as all second-generation Koreans probably know what that is. And usually, what happens is that Oma and Appa, after they get tired of watching you sitting there prostrate, they'll allow you to apologize, and then they'll let you rise. But this night, I was particularly stubborn, and I wasn't going to let Oma and Appa get the best of me. So I sat there for what must have been over an hour with a look of defiance across my face. After all our friends had left, Appa's burnt fuse then exploded, and in 1 second, I was out on the front patio of the house, very well aware that I had definitely crossed the line this time. I was terrified, and I didn't know what to do. It was night, and I could hear the coyotes singing off in the distance. I sat there crying, the seconds dragging on, when I heard the front door open, and a familiar figure walked up to me. It was Josh. He knelt down and then held me as I sobbed. This was the brother that I needed at that moment. We prayed, then he picked me up and led me by hand to Appa, where he helped me redeem my place back in the Kim household. Through many hard times growing up, he was always there for me when I really needed him. He came in my defense and fought off the exchange students we had with us at the time who thought that I'd eaten their Korean snacks. He came into my room when I was crying again and finding out that Deborah, who was sitting next to me with a smug look on her face, had slapped me for whatever reason, proceeded to slap her to establish a balance in younger sibling slappery. Yes, Josh was always there to defend, but he was also there to be the hand of justice when needed. So I could go on and on with stories, but I'm really cutting it close here with time, I'm pretty sure. So I'll be leaving with this bit with you tonight. Josh has a heart that'll put whales to shame. He will care for you and do everything in his power to ensure that you are loved and feel like you matter. He has the hand of a giant, which will defend you to ends that make even the spanking hands of an angry father seem infinitesimal. He has the knowledge and skills of a MacGyver, so much that you won't have to deal with a man difficult to understand on the other side of the planet to help you with your technical needs. Josh is here for you. He always was, and he always will be. So please, always be there for him. Josh, I know that we're brothers, and that we have 7 years between us, which is definitely an indication that I was the unneeded, accidental second son. But thank you for always being there for me. You will always be the brother that I needed, and I can only hope that you will be the husband that Christina always needed. I love you. Good luck on your journey, and don't forget, say goodbye to freedom, because tonight is the last night.
All right, next I'd like to invite the groom's father up to the front.
Just real quick before that, let's all raise a toast to Josh and Christina on the beginning of your journey. We all wish you the best. God bless.
Well, before I share my thoughts on Josh and Christina, I also want to recognize today's a very special day for a person here with us as well. Deborah, happy birthday! All right, we celebrate this day for birthdays and the anniversary coming forth. Okay. Well, after having 4 daughters in a row, I just loved my wife. That's all. We end up having 7 children. I don't know how that happens, but after 4 in a row, say, well, you got to be careful. Well, 5 years later, surprise, it was a boy. Said, okay, who are you going to name after? You know, I always thought that Joshua in the Bible was such a mighty, faithful warrior. That fitting for my son to be. Then what are we going to name for Korean? And we were going through, talked to my dad and all, and we came to a word, Hansol. I guess you can interpret it in different ways, but we look at it as a Han, as a like one, Sol is a pine, the Korean pine tree, that's evergreen. Just go through the difficulties of life that continue to blossom and stay green throughout for years. So we named him as a Hansol. Christina, I am so thankful when I heard the texting every day. What happened? Miracle do happen. You see, he's just so quiet. We lost him several times in the church. We ride on the van coming home after the church is over. We got home and we got a phone call. Do you know where your son is? They found him in the church. That's how quiet he is. So I'm glad that you got to him, that he be able to express and share, and that's a beautiful. Thank you. I also want to warn you, sometimes he doesn't express well. He was playing out in the backyard, the playground when I was in the service. There was a bunch of kids playing around. There's one guy had a boomerang, the big one made out of a wood. And he just threw that up in the air, whizzed around and came back and bam! Where you think it landed? Back of his head. Blood just everywhere his head. Not even a flinching from his face. I don't know what happened. But here he is expressing the feeling and sharing. I thank you. You brought something out of him that I could not. Thank you so much. Sarah, you said that if he ever hurt her, you'd be the first one. I'm sorry. you will be the second. Just want to make sure that. Josh, Christina, thank you so much for accepting him. Josh, congratulations. It's just wonderful. And Christina's mom and dad, thank you so much for. All right, for Joshua and Christina, you know what I said to my children? Be fruitful and multiply. To you.
I have a short memory, so I have to write down. So I have to read. This way? It's dark, so I need some light to read. First of all, I thank you, families and friends who are here to support this wedding tonight. And I also like to thank you, our extended families, even they are not here, due to the corona. They watched through the YouTube, Zoom, so they texted me. They are very happy to see through that. So they said they like to thank on behalf of everyone for this ceremony. And I like to, before I read this letter to my daughter, I often hear from people around me. They say sometimes I don't look that happy that my daughter's getting married. So I was shocked just hearing that. I given that my impression of that. And in Koreans, sometimes they don't really mean it, but they say it anyway. For example, there you go, you're losing another daughter. And, she's taken away by someone, something like that. Those kind of expressions sometimes make me feel sad. And so every time I hear those kind of expressions, I depend and comfort myself by saying, I don't really lose. I'm not losing any, I'm gaining son. I don't have any sons, but now I have 2 sons. So, to be honest with you, even at this very, very moment, happiness and sadness, they're both crossing in my mind. I don't know why, I cannot explain it why, and I just can't help it. I don't know if every dad feels same way or it's just me. Anyway, let me read this short letter to my daughter. To my precious daughter, Christina. It seems like yesterday that you were born as a cute little daughter of a mom and dad. But it is bold and long to get married. I would like to congratulate my precious daughter, Christina, who stands at a new starting point in her marriage, and ask for a few things. Life is by no means a smooth path. Momentary thoughts becomes words and actions. Actions becomes habits and history. Just remember, from now on, you must be a wise daughter-in-law, wise wife, and a wise mother. Now you have become a new family. Be a daughter-in-law who is loved by your mother and father-in-law. Even if hardships come in life, I hope that married couple join forces to cope with each other wisely to overcome them and build a wonderful life. Love is mutual understanding and consideration. Respect and trust each other. Don't be too greedy. Think deeply once more when you are angry. Look broadly. Always have a dream and endeavor to practice it. Also remember, life is only once, and it is precious thing without a practice. Christina, our daughter, you are precious and precious. So you must live happy life. Dad believes that you who are strong and smart will be able to live invisibly while doing the right thing. Lastly, I hope you remember that there are always mom, dad, and families behind you who support and encourage you. Love, Dad.
Christina is better than buddies. Nuna, why is love so hard?
You feel what you feel, and those feelings are real. Come on, Joshua, let down your guard. Again, you're gone, off on a different slope than mine. I'm left behind, wondering if I should follow.
Think I'll go and see if I catch a sign. Probably won't think of me tomorrow.
But is this what it feels like to be falling in love? When did you become the one who seems sent from above? Now I turn around and find I am lost on the slopes. North is south, right is left when you're gone. I want to rise and live, but now I'm lost on the slopes. And I don't know what slope you are on.
Lost on the slopes.
For right now, we'll watch her play with the crowds. I hope we can hold hands and